By the way, are we shooting this?
Yeah.
No,
Oh, no, that's all right.
no.
This is just really, I was just really trying to get a balance and get him.
Well, you know, you would
So,
never, you
no,
would
I
never
wouldn't
put
have-
anything in there.
I'm
you
not
didn't
interested
want
in
to
any of that
say.
stuff about Jerry or any of that stuff.
I just figured,
No.
you know, I just roll the
Oh,
camera
well.
when you're talking.
This is very hard to do for a Jew.
But, you know, getting back to like relationships between entertainers, there's all this kind of folklore about Frank and how Frank always wanted to be Dean. You know, that Keely Smith said, Frank thought he was tough and strong, but Dean knew he was the strong one. Do you think that they were very, very different as people, Frank and
Oh.
Dean?
Night and day. As a performer, saying that as a singing performer, I should say, Dean was perfect. Dean had a demeanor on stage and a way about stage better than Jerry's, because Jerry was so frenetic, you know, and everything else. But Dean had this easy, wonderful, and when I would go to see a show, the first time, I'd watch Dean. Because I could do what Jerry could do, but I would watch Dean, because Dean had a wonderful, innate talent. I mean, if somebody said you had to do it this way, I don't think he would have.
And, okay.
Now, with Rickles, it was entirely different. Rickles got the reputation from coming to the lounge, but then Rickles got lucky with television. Rickles, I was on a lot of television, and a lot of people recognized me from television, but not the same way that they took to Rickles. And when you become a television star, that was the making of somebody in show business. Talent, not that Rickles doesn't have talent, I'm just saying in general. Talent is really secondary on television to the personal demeanor and how they feel about you.
Well, it's a character. It's like Bilko. Like everybody knew Phil Silvers,
Right.
because he was Bilko. They didn't know him as a, you know, young people don't know him as a theater star or anything. They just know Bilko.
Like my wife is now Bilko. My wife in the morning goes, yeah, hey, yeah.
Well, you know, it's also like Don Rickles. He always had that weird, you know, he'd play like this weird guy. And he looked
Don Rickles is a
physically
weird guy.
weird, and so the physical part came out, you know. I mean, I think that's what
The
people-
saving grace for Don, and every star has always got something special. Don has got a wonderful way of laughing. So you really, the onus is off of everything he says. Like it's, you know, it's like tongue in cheek.
Well, Mel Brooks too. I saw him last night on the Paul Reiser show. He has that funny face.
Oh yeah.
And he's playing the crazy uncle now, and sure he's pushing it, he's overdoing it, and you can even see in the scenes that Paul Reiser can't even get a word in edgewise, because once he's on there, he's going to dominate even the television show, you know. But you were in a movie with Mel Brooks, right?
Yeah, but my dog, what, you don't want me to mention Mel Brooks? You just, get out. Come on, Cap, out. Yeah, I was in a movie called History of the World, Part 1. And it was a wonderful experience. You know, everybody in our business wanted to do movies, you know. And I had I would say about $600,000 worth of work lined up. And this agency that I just went with, APA, said to me, why don't you do this movie? And I said, why? This movie will do you more good. Because they were not going to get commissions from the work that I had lined up already. So I said, okay. So I accepted the movie for $40,000 from Mel Brooks, and I canceled out all the other work. And after I did the movie, I was going to put myself in a mental institution for giving up the work for doing that picture. Although the picture's become a cult picture in England, places like that, I didn't enjoy doing the movie. I don't enjoy being directed by somebody that doesn't know what Shecky Green is. And the only thing that made Shecky Green, as far as I got, I don't know whether I could have gone further, was that I had the ability of directing myself, writing for myself, producing for myself. And when I would go to different shows, nobody would let me I do every dialect there is, speak 4 different languages, sing. There isn't one television show that somebody said, we want you to sing, we want you to do this, we want you to do that. No, it's what they wrote. So consequently, I got lost. I didn't have, my personality was not such individually that without doing these other things that you could say, gee, he's my favorite. The Rickles is Rickles. Shecky Green is many, many things, many people.
Well, it's like the guy said to me in Atlantic City, you were too big for the room.
I was too big for the room?
That so much stuff that you were doing was just so hip and everything that,
Well, I will say that I don't think today, and I'm still doing it, I don't think my kind of audiences, nightclub audiences, are around anymore. The people that do come to see me have seen me on little snips and pieces of television, But if I was to walk out talking like this, and I would like to say, I was in Germany Thursday, they really think I was in Germany Thursday, these people. Nobody knows it, Or, vi ska minute för, det var även Sweden, var skipé, det var And these are the things that I love doing. I love to switch. Matter of fact, I even had one of the top writers, Hal Canner, came to see, says, why do you go from this to that to this? Well, there's a kid by the name of Robin Williams became a big star doing the same thing. Not that Robin Williams was doing me, because Robin Williams, to me, is probably the most talented person we have in show business today. There isn't anything he can't do. He can do Shakespeare, I do Shakespeare, but he does Shakespeare.
well, also, a lot of the old performers, Myron Cohen and all, they did dialects. That was what people liked. Don't you think the audiences in the 50s were smarter too?
I don't think
were
they
upscale.
accepted it. They don't accept it today. Today is, even working in Atlantic City not too long ago, there was a African American man that was on the entertainment, part of it, Booker, or entertainment, what do I call it? The entertainment guy, assistant. That was he thought I was a racist. As soon as I went in to do a little black dialect, I was a racist.
Well, we're looking at all the old Summit shows, the January 1960 shows. And these kids at A&E think that Dean and Sammy and all of them are racist because they're saying, here comes the little African queen.
And here comes Smokey, yeah.
And yet, it was explained to me a long time ago by Sammy that Frank Sinatra had such disdain for people who would use those words that he wanted them to do it, to point out how stupid it all was. And
Yeah,
that's
but
why
he-
he would sign telegrams, El Dago,
And yet, if you did it directly to him, he didn't like it. That's the, well, I don't know the word I could use. It's, there's really 6 different Sinatras, I think.
But wasn't that show unusual even for its day with all of those, with the gay trip, the gay stuff, and the racial,
Well, we had that in burlesque and everything else. That stuff was, they did things like that. And nightclub performers did that way, way long ago, if they had 2 or 3 guys working together. But for Vegas, that was new. People, nightclub people, sophisticated nightclub people, never saw that before, carrying each other, throwing things, spitzing the bottles and everything else. It was just madness. And it was really thrilling to watch these big stars do that to each other.
Was it as great as they would write about, as they wrote about in Playboy back in the '60s? Was the show really that good, or was it just the
Their
same?
show? I don't think I saw their show. I mean, I saw little bits and pieces because I was always working at that time. I think their show was, I saw some television on it. Yeah, I think it was a great show. It was, if you wanted that informal type of show, if you wanted to hear a guy just sing all the way through, it wasn't a good show. I mean, Dean never finished a song, Frank never finished a song, They had fun. And if people wanted to see fun, that's what it was.
Well, there's a joke in that show that Joey Bishop does about
Hey, Joey
Frank
Bishop.
saved-
Joey Bishop was one of my favorite friends.
Frank saved my life last night. You know that joke.
No, that's my joke.
That's right. I know that's your joke.
You mean it's Joey Bishop told you that's
No, he's doing that. He's doing that in the act. He does that in the
he's
old footage.
he's doing my
that.
joke. Frank Sinatra saved my life in 1967. 5 guys were beating me up, and I heard Frank say, "That's enough." Joey Bishop at this age is now doing that joke.
And he was doing it then.
Hey, well, if he was doing it then, that's not my joke. If he was doing it then,
No,
then
he
it
was
was.
doing it after you. He started
Oh,
doing it.
oh.
Right.
But I'll tell you the truth, Joey, if you're listening to this show, hey, you know, I don't have too many things I wrote myself.